Welcome to Inspiration in Action Television, where you'll meet people who will inspire you to bring your dreams to life. Our guest is Colette Watson, Vice President of Rogers Television, managing some 35 stations in Canada. 41 stations in Canada. And also she is the President and General Manager of Cable Public Affairs Channel, or CPAC as it's fondly called. So Colette, you know, this is a really big job you have, managing all of these bodies and all of these properties. But I want to wind the tape back a little bit because, you know, we all start somewhere to get where we are.
Yep.
And I wanted to ask you about when you were a little girl thinking about what you wanted to be. Was this it?
You know what? Yes.
Oh my gosh.
I'm one of those rare people where you say, you know, when you were 12, I'm where I wanted to be when I was 12.
Love it.
You remember Mary Tyler Moore?
I remember Mary Tyler Moore.
Mary Tyler Moore. Work in broadcast journalism. That's what I wanted to do. So I feel quite lucky that I'm doing what I always wanted to do. And I knew when I was 8, I remember like it was yesterday, that there was going to be one person I was going to rely on to get to where I wanted to be, and that was going to be me. And so
talk about harnessing the law of attraction and really just focusing on what is your heart's desire, because that's what it's all about. It's manifesting what's really in your heart to make a difference in the world.
Yep.
So, you know, we follow our path and we don't really know how we're going to get there. Clearly when you're 8. You know, and it's a funny parallel because interestingly, I had a similar experience. At 8, I kind of had an idea, had no idea how I was going to get there, but had an idea of what I wanted to do and knew that I would be the one to figure it out.
Yeah.
Somehow it works out, right?
Yeah.
We attract the opportunities.
Yeah.
But at 12 years old, was there something, or at 8, was there something that happened or someone you saw who inspired you to want to create that?
So at the risk of giving you a downer story, but in a way where you make lemonade out of lemons, right? So I grew up on the wrong side of the tracks. My father, when I was 8, was, you know, maybe home once every 6 months.
Oh boy.
And when he was home, he'd come home drunk, would beat my mother, and then, you know, move on, do whatever he was off to do. And so I remember the moment at 8 was when a bailiff came to the door to take our furniture away. And my mother was a stay-at-home mom, and she was overwhelmed by it all. And I thought, yeah, that's not going to be me. And so there are two ways you can go with something like that, right? You can say, I'm going to fall into the trap. You can be a victim your whole life, or you can say, yeah, that's not going to be me. And so that's what it was when I was 8. And then when I was 12, I started babysitting for this lawyer and his family, and he was inspirational to me. I you know, had the benefit of having a good brain, not a whole lot of educational opportunities, but a good brain. I used to get perfect grades in elementary school, and I guess I would bring my homework when I would go work, and he just encouraged me that, you know what, you go out there and you can do whatever you want. So when the time came, I thought, do I go into journalism or law? Because this man was pivotal to that. I thought, nah, I still want to be Mary Tyler Moore. So I chose journalism.
I'm laughing because, you know, the idea of Mary Tyler Moore, you know, a comedy and Mr. Grant and all those wonderful things, I was totally addicted to that idea too.
Yeah.
But, you know, what was it about that drew you? Was it the storytelling? Was it the, you know, the detective work? What was it about it?
It was the storytelling and the sense of adventure. Right? If you're a journalist, you could go anywhere in the world, maybe. Journalism would open up the world to you. You could follow your story. And so my philosophy about it all was kind of dream big and but at the same time, dream big, but make your corner of the world a better place. And journalism was a way to achieve both of those things, right? You know, everyone thinks they're going to be the crusader and save the day with the Watergate story was coming out at around that time, and so, you know, the opportunity to change the world by breaking a story, or to see the world by chasing a story was what was appealed to me.
You know what's interesting is that I'm a really big believer, and it's something I teach people now, is that every single one of us has to be a leader in our workplace. No matter if you answer the telephone or you run the company, we all lead in some way by our example.
Yeah.
And I think we have to share that enthusiasm, you know, that sort of addictive excitement that we feel when we connect with something that's really important to us expressing. So in your career now, how do you feel about you've soared? I mean, you're at the point where else could Colette go?
Yeah. Well, and so sometimes I think, wow, that's kind of sad, right? And so I need to think, I'm at a crossroads where you think, yeah, all right, what do I do? But I take I've been lucky in my career. I've had wonderful mentors, and I take the opportunity that I have very seriously. So I spent the first 15 years of my career moving up and soaking it all in and learning and mimicking and imitating, and then I realized when I was about 42 that my role, I had moved up to a certain corporate role, and my role was changing, that I had to be the teacher. And I remember that day thinking, no, I'm the one who has to teach now. And so that became important. It became something that if I do it this way, am I teaching? And you know, if you ask my people, they'll probably tell you I'm a horrible teacher, because I'm. It's like when they'll ask for guidance, and I'll try and I'll give them guidance, and sometimes I'll throw them in the deep end and just see what comes out. If they're drowning, I'll go get them, but I would like to see what they can do, and some swim better than others. But then I realized that I needed to give better guidance, because the line I would use, and I'm serious about this horrible line, which made me the horrible teacher, was, I'm not really sure. It's like when I shop for a dress, I don't know, but I'll know it when I see it. Like, that's really bad guidance. That's really bad guidance. And so then I had to teach myself to teach. And I don't know that I'm there yet. But I do require two things out of the people I mentor and teach, and that's use your power wisely and make your corner of the world a better place. And so if they do those two things, they'll be successful.
Maya Angelou said it best when she said, if you learn it, teach it.
Yeah.
So we all have, you know, we're all students of life. We're all sharing this passion. We're all showing each other what we can do, what we've learned, and hopefully it impresses other people enough to want to do something themselves, to express their own voice in some way. I was going to ask you, because courage is the #2 principle in inspiration in action. I was going to ask you where in your life you had to use courage, but I think it's everywhere. I think it's right through your life. You've had to use courage, and probably still do. You know, the television industry, although we've broken through that glass ceiling to some extent, you know, it still requires a lot of courage for women to stand in the truth of who they are. I mean, you're very smart. You're very successful. And I think you're, you know, absolutely awesome.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah, and thank you for joining us today.
Oh, it's my
Share that
pleasure.
wisdom. It's great.
Thank you.